Guys, so today I am going to do just a quick 5-minute face tutorial for you. As you can see, I have absolutely zero makeup on right now. This is going to take me longer than 5 minutes to demo it for you guys, but once you get the hang of it, once you practice, it's going to take you 5 minutes. So this is definitely for those days where you want to actually look like you're wearing a little bit of makeup, but you don't want to go full faced. So I am going to start with my foundation. And I've already used Limelight by Alcone Skin Therapist all over my face. That's been sitting for about 10 to 15 minutes. And for my foundation, we're going to use Limelight by Alcone Botanical Foundation, and it comes in these adorable compacts. I am going to use a mix of Ivory and Gina Beige because my skin tone just is not one color. It never ever happens. And this foundation is really creamy, really easy to use. You just have to scrape off a little bit, put it on the back of your hand, mush it around, warm it up, get that body heat going. Because if you don't warm it up, it's not gonna apply right. It's gonna look weird. So, mush, mush, mush. Blend it all around on your hand. And I'm just using a palette knife. You can use your fingers to mush it around. It's up to you. This is what works best for me. And this is going to be plenty for my face and neck. You can kind of see about how much is there. I'm going to use my Blenderful. It's nice and damp, really dense sponge, and it has that nice flat side to it too, which I love. So I just load it up, and I'm going to start from the bottom, and I just bounce. And this is going to take you a while to get that motion down, that really fast pat. But I feel like that gives you the best finish is when you move quickly. Blend it all the way down your neck. And I like a lot of coverage on my cheeks because, as you can see, I have a ton of redness. And I blend it all the way up underneath my eye. This foundation can actually act as a concealer too if you aren't trying to cover anything really super dark or a port wine stain or something like that. You can definitely use this foundation as a concealer too. So just keep applying anywhere that you need foundation. I put it all over my face. If you have great skin tone, great texture, you may not need it all over your face, but I do. So this goes everywhere, and I put it all around my lips too because I have a lot of discoloration around my mouth, which is annoying, but so is life. And blend it all the way up into my hairline because you don't want those weird little lines around your hair. And this sponge makes it super easy to blend things out. You can already see a big difference. And pull your nose down when you do your foundation so you get in those creases. And I'm going to add more to my cheeks because I like more coverage than this. So just keep that patting, pushing motion. You can also take it all over your eyelid as an eye primer. Fun little fact, you don't actually need an eye primer. Just use your foundation. So you can see what a huge difference that made with my redness. That's why I love this stuff. It is really creamy. It's very buildable coverage. It works wonders for pretty much any skin issue you've got going on. Now, in my little routine, I spend the most time on my foundation and on my brows because that's what I need the most help with. So, you may be different. You may want to spend more time on your eyeshadow or more time on your lips or something like that. So this is just kind of a base routine that I like to do. And I have like a weird little red patch right there. I'm like really hot right now, so my face is overheated. Okay, this will do. You can see what a nice finish that this beauty, or not the beauty blender, this is better than a beauty blender. Blenderful, there we go. I was really skeptical that this was going to be anything close to a beauty blender, and it's actually better. I love it. And I am not going to use concealer just because I don't really need it. But like I said, if you feel like you need concealer, add concealer. Okay, so then I'm going to do a little bit of blush. I forgot my blush brush, hang on. So for me, I like this really dense brush. I know a lot of people like the angled brushes. I don't really care for the angled brushes on my face. I'm going to use, what is this? This is Limelight by Alcone, and I believe this is blush number 3. You can see it's really peachy, pinky, and it's got a lot of gold in it, which I love. So this stuff is super pigmented. Like, holy cow, the first time I used it, I looked like a clown. So load your brush, tap it off, get off pretty much everything on there, because I'm going to show you how pigmented this is. Do this goofy little smile to find your apples, and tap. Just tap, 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 right in that little area. Don't go past the outside corner of your brow. Because a lot of women I see take their blush and pull it up. Now, if you think about a face and the way that it naturally flushes, 99% of people don't have a strip of flush going up this way. Your face flushes right about here. So keep it in this little area. You can see the motion that I'm using. See, voila, really pretty. Same thing on the other side. Silly little face to find your apple, and tap, tap, tap. And you can see what a nice little sheen it has. It's really pretty. And I got way more on that side. See, that's what I'm telling you guys. This stuff is so pigmented. I have to be really careful. But the nice thing is with this foundation, because it is a wax base, it's so creamy, things blend into it really well. So if you mess something up and you're like, oh crap, just keep blending it. Just blend, 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 and it'll meld into your skin. My hair is like crazy today, guys. Sorry. I look like a homeless person. Ever since I shaved my head and I'm trying to grow it out, don't do it. Just don't shave your head. Save yourself a lot of heartache. It's a pain. This is like almost 9 months regrowth, and I still can't put it up. Like, all I want to do is put it up in a freaking bun, and I can't. So now I'm going to use Be Glowing. This is really pretty. It's sort of an illuminator, but it's not that chunky, glittery, nasty mess. It's just going to give you that lit from within glow. And I put it, same brush, and I just sweep it all around my orbital bone, just for a nice little pop. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. You can definitely skip this step. Oh my God, I'm like sweating, sorry. Woo! I'll put a little bit on my chin and just a little bit here and there. And you can see it's just really pretty. It gives you just a glow, so I love that. All right, let's go for eyes. So eyeshadow, if you've watched any of my videos, you know that I adore Limelight by Alcone. This is a custom made palette, but this peachy pink blushing is my favorite shade ever. I use it on my lids all the time. It's super fast, it's super pretty, it just gives you a nice little wash of color. And I am just applying this with a really dense eyeshadow brush, because I do want a fair amount of color on there, considering I'm not going to do a whole lot with my eyes. I'm just going to add mascara after this. You can see how pretty that is and what a big difference it makes. And I even sweep a little bit underneath my eye. Same brush. Don't have to do anything fancy. Just gives you a nice pop of color. So you can see what a big difference that is from one eye to the other. Same thing, and when you apply your shadow, press it into your lid. Don't fluff the brush all around, because you're not going to get enough color that way. And these shadows are so pigmented that you're not going to have to keep reloading your brush. You saw how many times I did it. I did it once. That's why I love these shadows. They're so pretty and they're so easy to use. And underneath. Okay. I think I went a little bit overboard on that one. Yep, a little bit too much underneath. You get the general idea. Just a little pop of shadow. And then I'm going to use the same palette on my brows. You don't have to use a brow pencil if you don't want to. You can use eyeshadow and a pinch. I'm going to use Brownie Points, this dark one, along with a, what do you call this thing? An angled brush. Just load your brush, tap it off, really tiny little feather strokes. And this is all going to depend on what kind of brows you have and what kind of brows you want. If you want really, really dark, dense, big brows, then just add more color. But for me, my brows, as you can see, are kind of balding. So I just fill in all the spaces that don't have hair. And I give myself just a little definition on the underside because that's what I like. You may hate the brow that I'm doing. This is where like the trial and error and the practice comes in. You have to play with it. You have to see what you like. For me, I've done my brows long enough to know that I can get this done in about 2 minutes if I'm really precise. And you can see what a big difference that is. I love doing brows. If you don't fill in your brows, that's okay. You don't have to. A lot of people don't need their brows filled in, but if you want to try it, great. So have a little fun with it. See, big difference. In this one, you can see I have a huge bald spot, so my routine on this side is a little bit different. I still line the underside, and then I come up because I have a lot of baldness right there and the peak, and lots of bald right here, so I have to work on filling that in, but I don't want it to be super dark, so it's lots of little strokes with not a whole lot of product on my brush. Now, if you are lucky enough to have big, beautiful brows, then don't touch them. Don't do anything with them. You don't need to. Or if you are one of those unlucky souls that maybe tweezed a little bit too much when you were younger and they just didn't grow back, filling in is a wonderful option for you. You can see it's still really bald. See, I told you I spend the bulk of my time filling in brows and doing my foundation. So, and I can sit and jack with this brow all day. You know that meme on, social media where like one brow is great and it does yoga and it eats really well and the other brow is a couch potato? This is a couch potato. You can see it's shaped a little bit differently than the other one. I really try to get them even, but today this is as good as it's gonna get. And then take your little spoolie and just brush through and see if you need to fill in anything else or if you made any weird little marks. You can see a huge difference with me, especially. So with this foundation, you absolutely have to set it. If you don't set it, it's going to move around on you because it is so creamy. So I forgot my brush again. Hang on. Take a big fluffy brush, translucent powder, Limelight by Alcone. No color to it. It just sets it. And I push it into my skin. Don't flail your brush around your face because that's not going to do anything. Anywhere you put foundation, put powder. I forgot to set my foundation one day. And a couple hours later, I looked in the mirror and I was like, whoa, whoops. Never gonna let that happen again. Just all over. And I sweep it all the way up under my eyes. And all the way down my neck. Now I'm going to do a little bit of mascara before I do finishing spray. Perfect mascara. This stuff is life. It is out of stock right now, but as soon as it comes back in stock, you guys need it because I have this hair that's driving me nuts. Okay. I have really oily eyes. Like, when your eyelid is just kind of a sheen, that's my eyelids. and I also have really sensitive eyes. And I could never find a mascara that wouldn't smudge all underneath my eyes, or it wouldn't flake on my cheeks or fall down into my eye. This stuff doesn't do any of that. So I start at the base. You're gonna get a real close up here and wiggle. I push it into my lashes and wiggle. Now this is a one-step fiber mascara. So it's not like you have to do multiple steps. It's literally just this. And I like to build it. And if you build it while it's still damp, you're gonna get really pretty volume. Don't try and build it when it's dry, because then it's gonna get chunky. Any mascara is gonna do that if you wait until it's dry. It gets like a really weird consistency, and then you get that spider lash thing going on, and it's not cute. So, and I could spend forever on my lashes too, just adding and adding and adding. But I have like little baby lashes, so I put a bunch on. Show you what a big difference this is in just a second. You can probably see right up my nose right now. It's super cute. See? And that's just a little bit. I'm gonna add more after I'm done, and then I do lowers, same process. Put it on the base and just lightly wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And I don't do a ton on lowers because I think a lot of mascara on lowers looks weird. You guys are getting the idea here. That's what I love about this stuff. You can literally build it and build it and build it, and it just looks really, really pretty. So, same process on the other eye. Put it at the base and push and wiggle. This is really good for getting those little itty bitty baby hairs that don't want to cooperate, like the inside corners of your eyes. Now this stuff is not waterproof, but it is very smudge proof, I will say that. I've never actually tested how water durable it is, but it has lasted through a workout for me, which is a big deal because I sweat badly, more than I would like to admit. There you go. Now, obviously, if you want to get fancy, you can add liner, you can add more shadow, you can do all sorts of things, and I just stabbed the inside of my eye. Really cute. Really cute. There we go. Voila, eyes are done. Now, finishing spray. I love, oh my gosh, 10 Years Younger, Limelight by Alcone finishing spray. Now, technically it's a finishing spray, not a setting spray, but I feel like it does both because, like I said, I sweat and I have a little bit of shininess in my T-zone where typically my makeup doesn't like to stay put, but this stuff, I just feel like it gives a really, really pretty finish and it locks it in place. I was always a fan of Ben Nye Final Seal before I used this, and I thought that was like my holy grail. Well, now this is my holy grail. Like, I love it. And then lips. Okay. I am gonna do Sugar Plum Enduring Lip Color Limelight by Alcone. Now this is really, really deep, so I'm gonna put it on with my finger and I'm just gonna tap it on to get kind of a wash of color. So you can see when I put it on my hand, it's like this wine shade. Really super pretty for fall. But I'm not quite wanting to go that dark today, so. And that's, if you have a lip color that you're like, oh my gosh, that's really dark, put it in your finger and tap it on. And that's like really messy, but you get the idea. See how pretty it is? It's just very like a bitten kind of stain. And I'm being super sloppy. If you want to be more precise, you can take a lip brush. That works really, really well. But I'm being lazy this morning. Plus, I need to like get out the door. So, 5-minute routine. Once you practice it, super easy, super pretty. Practice, get the right tools, the right products. That's going to make all the difference in the world. Everything that I used you can find on my profile. I have a link there that you guys can shop. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I have all my contact info on there. I hope you guys enjoyed 5-minute face. Bye.